most difficult thing about new generation is actually getting them to stay on the streaming platforms we're building. They love social media. They love to consume social media, but see themselves in social media, whether it's through their friends or through influencers that are around. So really the key will be to develop these impact platforms where you make the link between social media and our own platforms that we're developing.
People say the younger generations don't engage. It has to be short, snippets of content. I don't necessarily believe that's true. I just think younger generations care about content they care about, right? And they will watch things that they care about. Being able to understand the kind of the dynamics of the generation and creating content that's relevant.
You have to be culturally relevant. You need to understand that what do people love. And so one of the things we do at IMAX is we talk about amplifying storytellers so that they can reach their fans and that fans can reach the storytellers. And so examples are Christopher Nolan, He's making a movie that his fans love, and we talk about Taylor Swift is going to be in the IMAX experience in the movie theaters. That's something they live. So the younger generation, any generation. So get the stuff they love, and then get it to them in the cleanest, straightforwardest, easiest way, and as a premium experience, because it matters to them. So don't cheap out.
Every player in the end-to-end content value chain will have to start thinking about how am I going to be relevant in what media is going to be. We're undergoing a profound transformation. Consumer behavior, how people interact with content, the attention span of content, the type of platforms as the TikTok type of attention span. If anything, every player in the industry, every aggregator, every content creator is going to have to be very agile and approach that in a very agile way and find ways to engage new audiences. So flexibility is key there.
Two real components to engaging a young generation with video. First is you have to have the right type of video for that. The second thing we'd say is, and that's our customers' jobs, to get that video. At the same time, what we're really looking at is then how do we get that video into all the places where those audience members are hanging out? That might be YouTube, that might be Instagram, that might be Snap, that might be Twitter or X, or we just released this new feature recently about Pinterest. As a social media platform, it turns out that our customers that are using video to drive e-commerce, 83% of Pinterest users have made a purchase by watching a video on Pinterest today. So it's a really important place for us to be there with our customers.
Yeah, so it's also something we struggle with as a brand ourselves, and definitely for this industry here where the drive for innovation is so high. We do see that the capacity for people to consume long content seems to be fading. We do see that needs to be snackable in that sense, and also what we see that the use of different technologies, so not only virtual reality but augmented and comprehensive content is really something we definitely need to focus on. That of course combined with the different platforms, different technologies, different tools we can use, we definitely see a shift away from a traditional camera, microphone and live setup into a much more digital environment and digital scenarios we can build.
Perfect example of that is this technology that we're using right here. So if you can imagine this, if we take, if we move out the normal studio environment and we go to say corporate for argument's sake, they're installing these type of screens to, put forward quarterly results, to talk about the business, invite guests, augment different realities behind them. So the consumers are getting a completely different look and feel than they would normally. Previously, they'll be sitting at a desk talking to somebody else, filming it, getting it out to the rest of the world. Now they can stand in front of it. They're talking about stocks and shares. They've got graphics behind them. They're interacting with their environment behind them. So this really does engage like a new type of viewer.
Everybody's always surprised when you see a 2-year-old walk up to a screen or television and they start trying to push it and move it around, right? That's just kind of the utility that these consumers are growing up with, right? And so when I say like leveraging these generative AI platforms and having a conversation versus trying to scroll, you're immediately stepping into the opportunity for that next generation. Now, let me think about the content generation I can potentially do. So any movie, I can create a trailer specific to that person's interests and needs, and it may be the actor-driven, it may be action-driven, it may be the color scheme, right, of the asset that I put in front of you versus somebody else. It's those types of experiences that really cater to the individual needs and cohorts of the next generation of television viewers.
I think that in order to keep the young generation invested, they need to be more interactive. We see also a lot of piracy that takes content from the traditional video distribution, cut it short, and then redistribute it in some more younger generation options. The suggestion is you need to also be available on these platforms. You also need to protect your content, but you also want to be available in that part, because whenever there is piracy, sometimes it's coming because there is a need that you are not covering.